Good evening, folks. Glad to be here again. Glad to still be here. That's a good thing. Hi, Kathy. As always, I'm glad you're here. Look forward to seeing you later this week, virtually, as we do these days. So I've been harvesting some songs this week. Actually, dug way back for a couple, but here's one just to kind of get things rolling and set a tone. All right. I'm almost getting this. Yay! Well, it says I've shared. I don't know. Okay, one of these days I'm going to get that. Hi, Mary. Someday I'm going to have to find out from all of you how you find this, because I still have a lot of people saying I can't find it, and heaven knows I tell them what I know, but that doesn't always get them where they want to go. Usually you can trust me on directions, but it's a little different in this world of Facebook. So anyway, good evening. Some say I'm a dreamer, some say I'm a fool, but I know what I know, and I know it's a rule that we reap what we sow, and we get what we give. So in love, I am choosing to live. There are moments I know, the perfection of life, the beauty of day, and the comfort of night, and I know it's my nature to trust and forgive. So in love, I am choosing to live. There are times when the way gets so dark, seems there is nothing that we can do, but I know in my hungering heart, the way I'm choosing is true. I know I'm a dreamer, I know I'm awake, I know what I know is for heaven's sake, for it's heaven on earth when it's love that we give. So in love, I'm choosing to live. There are times when the way gets so dark, seems there is nothing that we can do, but I know in my hungering heart, the way I'm choosing is true. I know I'm a dreamer, I know I'm a fool, I know what I know, and I know it's a rule that we reap what we sow, and we get what we give. So in love, I am choosing to live. In love, I am choosing to live. So, yes. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of a challenge these days at times to remember, oh yeah, how can I be a decent person in all of this? But that's my quest. I'm working on it. So, and I'll tell you, these evenings do a world of good for me to be able to share my music with folks and just know there are some folks out there who are appreciating it. I actually got to do, I had actually tomorrow will be my 5th, and who knows, maybe last until last spring, but I actually had several in-person shows the last couple weeks, and they were all outside. It was wonderful. It was so much fun to sing for people in person. You guys are wonderful, but it added another dimension. You know how that goes. I'm sure you're feeling that in your life one way or another. So, so my theme this week is the harvest. Actually, yesterday was the equinox. Yesterday was the first day of fall, as I'm sure you know. And so now the days will be getting shorter. Well, they already have been, but now they're going to get shorter even than the nights pretty soon here. I get a newsletter every day, Earth Sky News. It's wonderful. It tells all sorts of, it's very informative, very educational. And it keeps me tuned in to what's going on in the larger picture. So I've been doing a little harvesting of older songs. In fact, next week I just discovered a couple tonight that it's like, oh, I have no idea. I need to work on them. And this one I haven't done for a long time, but I actually wrote it, I think, in 1982, because I'd been living in Aspen in Colorado for many years, except for a brief stint in Nashville. And so I'd been in Aspen, and I decided I'd move out to California for many reasons. One was to be with my mom as she was getting older. So, and I'm very glad I did it. But that last fall, sometimes the fall is so spectacular. Last year, the fall, at least here in Paonia, went from green to brown. It wasn't too exciting, but this year is already looking more spectacular. I have a tree out in front that is just endlessly entertaining. Right now it kind of dazzles me when I look at those clumps of gold. So I pulled out this old song. I remembered it because I knew I was going to be moving to California. And suddenly, you know how when you know you're leaving someplace you love, suddenly everything seems so vivid and so vibrant. And so this is a song I wrote back then after a trip up to Ashcroft. Golly, I got some wonderful people here with me this evening, and places. Hello, Amanda, and Mary, and Kathy. Yeah. So we've got British Columbia. We're getting international here. Anyway, I know you have beautiful mountains up there too. So here's a song I resurrected from 1982. I haven't done it in a long time. I probably should have changed the key, but we'll see. Hang in there with me. You have sheltered me, given me a home. Let me watch the seasons change. Let me walk alone, and the people that I've met with you have laughter in their eyes, shining with a love that never dies. Shadow Mountain calls me to a place of rest. The bells ring out their ancient songs, the one I love the best, and I wonder how I'm gonna leave you, and I wonder how I'll go away, but I must go and see some other friends, go and sing my songs for them, and walk in different sunsets for a while. The hills are golden now, I've never seen them shine so. The air's warmer country. As they're heading south, they call to me, but I must go and see some other friends, go and sing my songs for them, and walk in different sunsets for a while. And the songs that I have sung with you will fill the distant skies. Soon the winter white will quiet all the forest. Trees will drop their robes, they bear your beauty for us. And I wonder how I'm gonna leave you, and the wonder of my mountain home. When I sing that, I can still imagine that fall. I'd driven up the road. Just those of you who've been in Aspen probably know the way to Ashcroft, up towards the Pine Creek Cookhouse, all that area, and it was just glorious. You know, sometimes the golden of fall just makes my jaw drop. So, hi Nancy. Oh, good, we got Ohio here, and Susan and Kathleen. I'm so glad you all are here. And here's a song. Here's a song that I wrote for the harvest. Actually, I wrote it for the Mountain Harvest Festival a few years ago here in Paonia. And tomorrow night is an event here in Paonia. It's going to be outside in the park, but it's an annual event called the Harvest of Voices, and it's different writers, and almost all of them are prose writers, and there's some great writers around here. But this year, actually for the second year in a row, I am quite honored to have had a couple of my songs chosen to be part of it. So I'm going to be doing a couple songs a cappella tomorrow evening from Town Park in Paonia, and I'm excited about that. So, hi there, Karen. Good to see you. Good to see you on here. And yeah, I just love the fall. I don't know if maybe it's because my birthday's in the fall, but it always seems like the fall is the season of, well, it's definitely a season of change, of letting go of things that didn't work, of kind of moving into whatever's next for us, which heaven knows we have a lot around that. But anyway, here's the harvest. Are getting longer than the days. I pray that I'll stay strong as the summer fades away. There's a coolness in the breeze, and the cats just stay inside. Leaves turn any shade but green, and geese are flying high. And the harvest is coming in from the long days of nurturing, from the rain and sun, the bees and birds, all these riches from the earth. And the harvest is coming in, it will keep us through the winter mean. body and soul need nourishing, and seeds for the distant spring. It doesn't seem quite real how quickly days go by. May turns to December in the winking of an eye. Long hot days of summer, warm nights beneath the stars, once seemed to last forever, now quickly gone they are. And the harvest is coming in, it will keep us through the wintering. Body and soul need nourishing, and seeds for the distant spring. Blessings from the dirt, and dazzled by the golden light, so beautiful it hurts. Perfection of the cycles, the interplay of all, is springing forth around us in the bounty of the fall. And the harvest is coming in from the long days of nurturing, from the rain and sun, the bees and birds, all these riches from the earth. And the harvest is coming in, it will keep us through the wintering. Body and soul need nourishing, and seeds for the distant spring. And seeds for the distant spring. And I am lucky enough to live in a place. Hi, Kathy and Susie. Great to have you here. I'm lucky enough to live in a place where we have a very bountiful harvest. Lots of farms, lots of organic farms around here. People are very, very committed to protecting the land and keeping us healthy, which is a good, darn good thing. So yeah, so I'm really lucky. I've been starting a thing every week. I have some neighbors who have a wonderful Thai food truck. It's called 1-2 Thai, and they show up different places in town through the week. And on Tuesdays they're at a marvelous farm called Orchard Valley Farms, just outside of Paonia. And I've been getting friends to come over and visit me. It's the Thai Tuesday Paonia experience with Ellen. So just yesterday I was out there with some dear old friends, and so now I have baskets full of food, winter squash, Honeycrisp apples. Anyway, it's great. Okay, I've got a couple more songs, of course, and I wanted to do this song, and Nancy, I'll do this, send this out to you. I think you've been doing some census work. I know I've done this song a bunch, but given that the deadline at this point, unless it gets shifted again, is next Wednesday, September 30th for the census, and then I hope just want to encourage everybody to participate if you haven't yet, and tell your friends. You know, it's important because it's how funding is distributed. It's how our voting districts are determined. So it's really important, and it's going to be for the next 10 years. So do something. Yeah. So here's the song I wrote for the census project I was working with, and since I couldn't do live concerts for the seniors it was aimed at, I ended up recording this song. And it was very funny because last week I had a concert, an outdoor concert in Cedar Edge, and afterwards I was walking down the street. I passed a restaurant where there was a group of about 6 people, young people. I mean, youngish comparatively. They were probably in their 30s. And they were sitting there eating. And as I walked past, one young woman stopped mid conversation and looked at me and said, "I know you. You're famous. I've seen you on YouTube. You're the census lady." So there you go. You can look me up on YouTube. It's called Together We Count, subtitled Come to Your Census. So one more time, we're going to do Together We Count. You might think it doesn't really matter, shrug and say it's not paramount. You might think you don't make a difference, but you're wrong. Everybody counts. The little baby born just this minute, the centenarian plus 15, moms and dads and kids, cousins, friends and neighbors, young and old, and everyone in between. Together we count. Together we count. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. This is how we stand up, and so we are, 'cause we're all in this together. Together we count. Yes, it's true, each of us is just one person, but for too many reasons to enumerate, we help ourselves and we help each other when we participate. You might be sitting alone in your room, but we're connected no matter where we are, doing what we can to show we care for one another. Sends ripples near and far. Together we count. Together we count. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. This is how we stand up, and so we are, 'cause we're all in this together. In clear and stormy weather, we're making our lives better. Together we count. Together we count. Together we count. And we do. It's obviously about more than the census. That the things we do affect each other. And I know for many of us, last week, it was a very sad week with the passing of one of my heroes for many years, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and just to not go into what all is happening in the aftermath, but just to remember her. I actually have gone back to one of my favorite books. Somebody gave me this. It's My Own Words by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And it's quotes from the different briefs she did, and you would think, well, that's not going to be all that fascinating, but it sure is. She certainly was a trailblazer and did so much good in so many ways. And I think, yeah, whether or not you agree with different things she did, I think most people probably just got to respect her. And hopefully they, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to read you a little thing because you may have heard one of her fondest wishes. She loved opera, and early on in her life, she really wanted to be an opera star, but her vocal teacher steered her away from that early on. And then when she got on the Supreme Court, she connected with Antonin Scalia, who was pretty much diametrically opposed to her on social issues anyway, although they both had a lot of respect for each other for the legal ramifications, for the legal, for the Constitution, basically. So I'm going to read you just a little section. There was a young man named Derek Wang who wrote a comic opera of the Scalia-Ginsburg. It's the Scalia-Ginsburg opera. And this is a duet, so most of it is the two of them saying together, "We are different, we are one. We are different, we are one. The U.S. contradiction, the tension we adore. Separate strands unite in friction. To protect our country's core, this the strength of our nature. This is the court's design. We are kindred, we are nine. To strive for definition, to question and engage, let us speak to our tradition, or address a future age. This the duty that's upon us, this the freedom to judge how our strands are spun. This makes us different. We are one. We are one decision from forging the source of tomorrow, one decision from shifting the tide, always one decision from charting the course we will steer, for our future is unclear. But one thing is constant, the Constitution we revere. We are stewards of this trust. We uphold it as we must, for the work of our court is just begun. This is why we will see justice done. We are different. We are one." So, on that note, it's a good thing to remember. It's hard to remember these days, but we are all in this together, and what we do makes a difference. And I believe that, and yeah. So here's an older song of mine, actually, that the Earthbeat Choir did for many years. Karen Diatlo was the founder of the Earthbeat Choir years ago, and I've been so honored to have young people singing this song, and I hope that continues for a long time. But feel free to sing along; you'll catch on. Rise up, it's a new day. Good morning, sister. Good morning, brother. There's so much to do, and the first thing is to listen, to be quiet, and to speak the truth. We're taking our lives in our hands. I am in yours, and you are in mine, and we're taking our lives in our hands. The future will grow from the seeds that we sow today. Stand up, it's our moment. We are the bridge now, reaching tomorrow. That touches yesterday, and a question we must ask now, is this as true for my grandchildren's children as it is today? We're taking our lives in our hands. I am in yours, and you are in mine, and we're taking our lives in our hands. The future will grow from the seeds that we sow today. Life so incredibly strong, yet incredibly fragile, sings through our hearts and the touch of our hands, in the cries of the children and the eyes of the old ones, in the ancient dark forests and the flight of a hawk, in the grace of the earth and the gift of our minds. It's a thread that weaves and dances and invisibly binds, and we're taking our lives in our hands. I am in yours, and you are in mine, and we're taking our lives in our hands. The future will grow from the seeds that we sow today. So may we all be sowing seeds that lead to a better future, a more loving, kind, understanding future. That's my hope, and I'm going to keep plugging along for that. Thank you all so much for joining me this week. Thank you for your donations. Okay, wait a minute. My phone's supposed to be turned off, but oh well. Anyway, thank you for your donations through PayPal, or some people just send things to me. It's getting me through. I'm not too worried about getting through because I've made it this far. Heavens! So, hi Sue and Susan. It's always good, and Jennifer. Yeah, just want to say howdy to everybody. So if you go to my website, which is ellenstapenhorst.net, there's a donation link there. And also, I wanted to tell you, I actually had a lesson today with my 19-year-old niece, Amy. I'm getting, my tech game is upping, or however would you would say it. Anyway, I'm getting better, and I upgraded a bunch of stuff, and so by next week I may actually be also on YouTube, which would make me happy, and I think a lot of other people too, as well as Facebook. I'll keep doing the two of them. So anyway, thank you so much. Be good to each other, be good to yourselves, wear your mask, and take care, and we'll get through. I love you all. Thank you for being here with me. Bye.